In this video, we'll talk about first things you should do on your Apple iPhone 17. The settings are pretty much the same across iPhone 17, 17 Air, 17 Pro and Pro Max. Anyway, let's check out what you should do with your new Apple iPhone 17. First, open Settings, and you'll see the battery option. Tap on Battery, and make sure the battery health is normal if it's a brand new phone. If it's older, you might notice some differences. Also, check that the battery capacity is 100% for a new smartphone. If it's used, it might be at 80% or 70%, something like that. I've charged my phone twice, so it's showing 2 cycles. You can check your phone's value like that. Anyway, go back, and you'll see the charging option. Tap on Charging. Here, it shows it'll charge up to 100%. If you set it to that, you'll see Optimized Battery Charging. You should enable this setting. Personally, I keep it at 90%. You don't need to charge to 100%. Keeping it at 80%, 85%, or 90% is better for battery health. I recommend setting it to 90%. If you're charging to 100%, make sure Optimized Battery Charging is on. Next, go back, and you'll see the Power Mode option. Tap on it, and ensure Adaptive Power is turned on. It's better for your battery health and increases screen on time. There's also a Low Power Mode option. If you want your phone in low power mode all the time, you can enable it, especially if battery life is your priority. This keeps your phone in full-time low power mode, giving you better screen on time. For now, I'm turning it off. After that, go back, and you'll see the battery percentage option. By default, you can't see the battery percentage. If you want to see it, turn it on. Another thing to do after getting your new phone is to open Settings, go to General, and tap on Software Update. If there's a software update available, make sure to install it. Also, in General, you'll see Automatic Updates. Tap on it, and make sure it's turned on. If it's on, any software updates will install automatically. Next, let's set your wallpaper. Open Settings, scroll down, and tap on Wallpaper. You'll see tons of wallpapers to choose from. Pick one, or if you want to use your own photo, scroll to the end and tap the new option with the plus button. When you tap it, you'll see several options. You can choose one or select a photo from your gallery. For example, I'm picking this photo. Then, tap Add, and select Set as Wallpaper Pair. That wallpaper will be set. On the main page, if you want to add a widget, long press an empty area where there's no app. You'll see an Edit option. Tap Edit, then tap Add Widget. You can add any widget you want and search for specific ones. I like using the Contacts widget. Search for it, select it, and tap Add Widget. Once added, if it's a Contacts widget, you can set your favorite contact. From the home screen, tapping it takes you straight to that contact. There are tons of widgets you can add, so pick what you like. If you want to customize app icons, long press an empty area where there are no apps, and tap Customize. You'll see options like dark, light, or tinted. With tinted, you can change the color to whatever you want. I prefer the default look, but you can set it to your style. To move apps, long press an empty area again. Tap and drag the apps where you want them, then tap anywhere to save the changes. Now, let's set up your lock screen. When you lock your phone, you'll see the lock screen. To make changes, long press the lock screen and show your face to unlock with Face ID. Then, long press again, and tap Customize. To add a widget, tap Add Widget. You'll see plenty of widgets to choose from. For example, I'm adding this one. If you don't want a widget, remove it. You'll also see a type option. To change the style, tap it, and you can pick something like glass style. If you don't like it, select solid, and it'll look like this. To resize a widget, drag from the corners to make it bigger. Below, you'll see shortcuts. To remove one, tap the minus button, and it's gone. To add a new widget, tap a shortcut slot. If you want to open a third-party app, go to the Shortcuts option, select Open App, and choose the app you want. For example, I'm picking a game. Then, tap anywhere to save. You'll see it there, and you can always tweak it later. If your phone is brand new, you'll need to transfer contacts from your old phone. Open Settings, scroll down, and tap Apps. Then, tap Contacts, and select Contacts Account. If you're logged into an iCloud account, all contacts will transfer. But if your contacts are in a Google account from an Android phone, tap Add Account, select Google, and open the browser to log in to the Google account used on your Android. If you're confused, open the Contacts app on your Android, tap the button at the top, and note the Google account. Enter that account and password here, and all contacts will transfer to your iPhone. You can also set contact posters. Contact posters mean that when someone with an iPhone calls you, they'll see your chosen photo. To set this, open the phone app, tap Contacts, and select your name at the top. Tap Edit, then Edit again. You can customize your photo here. To pick a new one, tap Choose a Photo, select from your photo library, and choose a photo. You'll also see a poster option to customize it. Your name's there, so tweak it as needed, like changing the background color. For example, I'm keeping it like this. When done, tap Done. Now, when an iPhone user calls you, they'll see this photo. Tap the checkmark to save. On the same page, scroll down to Edit Medical ID. It's important to fill this out. Tap it, and add details like allergies. In an emergency, someone can check this without unlocking your phone. You'll also see emergency contacts. Add one so they can be called without unlocking the phone. It's a must. If you want to add notes, go ahead. Make sure to set this up. In iOS 26, there's a glass-like design. If you don't like the transparency and want to reduce it, open Settings, tap Accessibility, and select Display and Text Size. You'll see Reduce Transparency. If it's off and you don't want the glass effect, turn it on. The transparency will be reduced, so set it if you prefer. To set your phone to dark mode, open Settings, tap Display and Brightness, and choose between light and dark. For better battery life on OLED displays, pick dark, as black areas use less power. You can set it to auto, so it's light mode in the morning and dark mode at night. You'll also see text size. Adjust it to your liking, I'm setting it here. Back in Display and Brightness, you can enable bold text if you want. For brightness, use auto brightness. There's also True Tone, which adjusts colors based on time. I don't like that, so I'm turning it off. You'll see Auto Lock, often set to 30 seconds, meaning your phone locks after 30 seconds of inactivity. Change it to your preferred time. Also, ensure Raise to Wake is on. When enabled, lifting your phone unlocks it instantly, which is super convenient. The Always On Display feature shows the time and wallpaper when your phone's locked. If you don't want it, disable Always On Display to save battery. Otherwise, you'll see the time and more when locked. You can customize it. Show Wallpaper is usually on, so the wallpaper appears. If you only want the time, turn off Show Wallpaper. You can also disable Show Notifications if you don't want them visible. This saves a bit of battery while keeping Always On Display. There are also camera settings to tweak. Go to Settings, tap Camera, and select Photographic Style. Choose the style you like, and your photos will use that style when taken. You'll see Record Video options. By default, it's often Full HD at 30 fps. For higher quality, pick 4K at 30 fps or 60 fps for even better quality. Also, turn on Enhanced Stabilization for steadier videos. Go back, and you'll see Record Slow-Mo and Record Cinematic. Set their resolutions here. For cinematic videos in 4K by default, enable 4K. For record sound, keep spatial audio on. Also, enable Wind Noise Reduction to cut background noise. Another key setting is Formats. Tap it, and you'll see Resolution Control. It's off by default, meaning you can't shoot in 48 megapixels even if your phone supports it. Turn it on, go to the Camera app, and tap the HEIC option to select 48 megapixels. If it's off, you won't see that option. Also, under Composition, you can enable Grid for lines in the Camera app or level to better position your subject for improved photos. In the Camera app, when using the selfie camera, tap the button at the top. Ensure Auto Zoom and Auto Rotate are on. With these enabled, tapping the button switches to a wider field of view automatically. Set up Face ID by opening Settings, scrolling to Face ID and Passcode, and entering your passcode. If Face ID isn't set, tap Set up Face ID, follow the prompts to move your face, and it'll be set. You can then unlock your phone with Face ID. Also, enable Attention Aware features. When on, your phone won't lock if you're looking at it, even without touching it. Make sure Stolen Device Protection is on. If your phone's stolen, this makes it harder for someone to reset or tamper with it. Also, iPhones come with a Passwords app. To set it up, go to Settings, tap General, then Autofill and Passwords. Ensure Autofill Passwords and Passkeys is on for seamless autofill and password saving. Enable the Passwords app here, and if you use third-party apps, enable those too. Set it to Passwords or your preferred third-party app. Siri's not perfect, but you can use ChatGPT with it. Go to Settings, tap Apple Intelligence and Siri, and scroll to ChatGPT. If it's off, tap Setup, then Next, and enable ChatGPT. Once enabled, tap Sign in to log into ChatGPT, so past conversations are saved. Then, activate Siri and say, "Hi, ChatGPT," followed by your query, and you'll be talking to ChatGPT. It's a handy feature. On your iPhone 17 series, there's an action button on the left. Pressing it in my case turns on the flashlight. You can set it to any function, like opening an app. Go to Settings, tap Action button, and choose an option like Silent Mode, Focus, or others. To open an app, select Shortcuts, tap Choose a shortcut, pick Open App, and select your app. Now, pressing the Action button opens the app. There's also a Camera button. You don't need to set it up, but here's how it works. Press it to open the Camera app. Press again to take a photo. Long press to record a video. Gently press to see some settings, or press gently twice to access more options. Adjust settings from there. You'll need to practice to get used to it, as many people don't fully use this feature. Another thing you should do is open Settings. In Settings, you'll see the General option. Tap on General, and you'll find Background App Refresh. Click on it, and you'll see all the apps on your smartphone. By default, they're all turned on, meaning every app refreshes in the background. This uses your mobile data, battery, and Wi-Fi. If you don't want that, you can disable those apps. If you're not using some apps regularly, it's better to turn them off. Next, go back to Settings. You'll see an option called Notifications. Tap on it, and as you scroll down, you'll see all the apps on your smartphone. Sometimes, you don't want notifications from every app. If there are apps you don't want notifications from, tap on them. By default, Allow Notifications is turned on. Just turn it off, and you won't get notifications from those apps. This keeps your phone a bit cleaner. If you want to use your Apple iPhone with one hand, here's what you can do: swipe down from the bottom area. This makes the screen easier to reach. By default, your Apple iPhone's keyboard doesn't have haptic feedback, meaning there's no vibration when you type. If you want to enable it, go to Settings, tap General, then select Keyboard. You'll see haptic feedback. If it's off by default and you don't want sound, you can turn that off too. On this page, there are more options. As you scroll down, you'll see auto capitalization. If you want it on, turn it on. This automatically capitalizes words when needed. There's also an auto correction feature. You can turn it on if you want, but I turn it off because it sometimes causes mistakes. You'll also see a predictive text option. Turn it on if you want predictions. There are other options here too, so set them as you like. Another useful feature is Back Tap. To set it up, open Settings and tap Accessibility. Then, select Touch. Scroll down to find Back Tap, and tap on it. You'll see options for Double Tap and Triple Tap. Tap Double Tap and choose what you want. I've set mine to take a screenshot. Now, to take a screenshot, just double tap the back of your phone. You can set it to open the camera or any other function. Triple tap is there too, so customize it based on your needs. If you want to add a new keyboard, go to Settings, tap General, and then select Keyboards. You'll see an Add New Keyboard option. By default, only the English keyboard might be there. Tap Add New Keyboard and choose whichever language you want. Now, for your Apple ID settings, go to Settings and tap your name at the top. Scroll down to find iCloud and tap it. You'll see all the data that backs up to iCloud. Tap See All, and from there, you can choose which services to back up. If you don't want to back up photos to iCloud, tap it and turn it off. If you want everything backed up, make sure all options are turned on. As you scroll down, you'll see Advanced Data Protection. Tap it, and you'll find an option to turn on Advanced Data Protection. It's a good idea to enable this. It makes your data harder for others to access. But here's the thing, if you turn it on, you'll need to remember some passwords. If you forget them, you might lose your data, so keep that in mind. From the top right corner, scroll down to find Control Center. If you want to customize it, you can. To add apps or functions, long press anywhere any controls are not there, tap Add a Control and pick what you want. If you want to add any third-party apps, under Shortcuts, you'll see Open App. Tap it, select Choose, and pick any app you want. It'll appear in your Control Center. You can add other functions too. For example, I added the recording function this way, and now it's in my Control Center. If you want to remove something from Control Center, long press and tap the minus button to remove the icon. By default, Control Center has 3 pages. To add more, long press, scroll up, and after the third page, a new page will appear when you scroll again. Tap Add Controls to add to the new page, and it'll be created. To rearrange controls, long press and move them wherever you want. You can also set default apps. Go to Settings, scroll down to Apps, and tap it. You'll see Default Apps. Tap it, and you can set defaults. For example, if you have another browser, you can set it as the default, and it'll open when you tap a browser app. To lock or hide an app, long press the app you want to secure. You'll see an option for Require Face ID. Tap it, then select Require Face ID again. You'll need to confirm your face identity. Once confirmed, that app will be locked. Now, when you try to open it, you'll need to use Face ID to access it. Similarly, to hide an app, long press it and tap Require Face ID. You'll see an option for Hide and Require Face ID. Tap it, and the app will be hidden. You won't see it on your home screen anymore. To find it, go to the app library. Scroll down to the hidden folder, that app will be there. The good thing is, others won't easily see apps in that folder or know if any are hidden. These are some key things to set up on your Apple iPhone 17 series phones. If you think I missed something, comment below so others can see it too. Check the comments for more tips. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. If you found it useful, consider subscribing. See you in the next video.